Hello everyone, I guess hopefully you're having a wonderful day, and today we are here with a Fanatics Premiere review, which I have never really done before. The odd one here and there throughout the past, but I felt like this one was very much deserving of a video on its own, as there were some pretty outstanding prices last night. The market's been on fire lately. We've been seeing that in the weekly reviews and just across the board, and last night certainly did not disappoint. So let's go ahead and get into it. As always, if you enjoy these reviews and other whatnots, make sure to like the video. Helps me, helps the channel. There was something like 14 or 15 cards in total that were auctioned off last night on the Premiere on Fanatics website. I went ahead and just grabbed the top 10s. We'll start at number 10 with the 2023-2024 Stadium Club Competitions Lamine Yamal Marks of Excellence Auto. This is the gold out of 50. It is a PSA 10 card grade with a PSA 10 auto grade, and as you can see, it went for $19.2 thousand last night. It's a pop 1 of 3 in these specific grades, and in terms of how this price fares comparatively, as you can see here, if we sort by price over on Card Ladder, you can see that the all-time high price was a total of $12.2 thousand. Apparently, that has not yet got in here in terms of the $20,000 sale. Maybe I'm missing something in terms of my search results, but as you can tell, none of them have reached this mark yet. The highest sale was 12.2 on this PSA 9 card, PSA 10 auto. As you can tell, there's sort of a variation in terms of Barca kit. This is the more natural blue and red. Then you also have this white version as well. Apparently, this white version sold for $12,000 on a best offer. You never quite know with best offers in terms of if they're legitimate or not, so you always have to worry a little bit about that. But clearly, the 1010 is going to get a premium, and it certainly did last night, going nearly at 20. On to number 9, we have the 2023-2024 Topps Chrome UCC Lionel Messi Red Refractor with the auto, which is a sticker auto here. In this scenario, this is numbered to 5, and the PSA 10 went for $20.4 thousand. PSA Pop 1 of 1. I'm sure that's certainly helping. Just my initial thoughts, and as we'll go and see in terms of pricing here in a second, $20K for a sticker auto does seem pretty strong. Granted, we've seen some Superfractor Messi Ronaldos, we'll see one later. They do a good penny as well, despite being sticker auto, so it seems like people are able to get over that to some degree. Here, the only thing that would really, sort of put me off a little bit, granted, I'll make this perfectly clear, I'm not really spending in this bracket, and so, does my opinion matter? Clearly not. There's other people going after it, but from my perspective, I've always struggled with these throwback kits because clearly Messi wasn't on Barcelona in 2023-2024. And so, while it is during career, I do feel like it's, in between career and post-career almost, in the sense that they are just making up scenarios that didn't really exist during the season. Granted, people like Messi cards, I get it. As for the pricing here, again, if we sort by all-time high price, what are we going to find? The all-time high is a $23,000 Messi and Ronaldo duel from 2022. Given sort of this sale here, that would make that seem not all too shabby. Granted, that apparently then resold for $20.7 just a couple months ago. So despite not seeming like a crazy price, this is definitely up near it in terms of pricing. And if we go back further, there's really nothing close. We do have this 2023 Topps Chrome MLS on-card auto here. This went for $11.4. And, from my perspective, I'd rather have an on-card PSA 10's got all the same factors. It's on card and it's actually where he's playing rather than a throwback. But, of course, each person values that differently. If you go further back in terms of solo sticker autos from Topps Chrome Red, this is a PSG Days one, PSA 9 granted, but this one for $3,600, so that's quite cheap in comparison. And then there's certainly some others down here. Now you might get some red waves and other whatnots, but there's some more down here in the $2 to $3K range. Again, granted, some of those are red waves, but yeah, certainly a strong price here, no matter how you sort of slice it. On to number 8, we have a 2023 Select La Liga Lamine Yamal Field Level PSA 10 Gold out of 10. This goes for $20.7 thousand and a pop 1 of 5. In a world where Lamine Yamal has so many different rookies to choose from, select field levels have always sort of stuck out to me, especially Gold out of 10 and a PSA 10. As for pricing here, in terms of all-time high sales, this will top the list, I do believe, and it certainly does. 20.7 here. Past sales, you do have a Spain kit field level here, as you can see. So the Spain kit, at least in this situation, seems to be valued a good bit less than the Barcelona kit. This goes for 12.2. There are other past sales for the Spain kit, 7.2 here, another one here. That's a gold wave, but you get the idea. Basically, no real comps to go off of in comparison to the true gold with the Barcelona kit. And while strong, it doesn't seem wildly out of line in comparison to other Lamine Yamals. His Mega Cracks, PSA 10, the BIS that people have been, certainly going after in high quantity, high demand, that's close to, 5 to 7K, maybe even higher. Could be 9, anywhere between there over the last few months. So would I rather have 2 or 3 of the 70, I was going to say 71 BIS, but just the BISs, the Messi BIS sort of got me there. But would I rather have 2 or 3 BISs or a select gold field level PSA 10? Probably the select gold field level, so I could see it from that regard. On to number 7, we come in with a 2021-2022 Mosaic Premier League Cristiano Ronaldo Black Mosaic 1 of 1, of course, from his times of his return at Manchester United. This is from Panini and also Mosaic. Mosaic, not as much of a beloved product generally speaking, but of course when you get a Manchester United kit, Ronaldo 1 of 1, PSA 10, all that good stuff, it's going to get a good number, and this one certainly does, 23.4K in total. In regard to pricing, there was a 2021-2022 Portuguese kit, Road to the World Cup Black Mosaic 1 of 1, that went for 3.7K in a PSA 10 on Golden last year. I would say in comparison, that's looking like a pretty good deal if we are to compare to the 23K sale for the Manchester United kit. Now, of course, Ronaldo does have a ton of good stuff in Portuguese kits throughout his career. Manchester United going to be a little bit more scarce, at least for playing days. Granted, Panini and Topps can print him in whatever kit they want to for the rest of the time, basically. So playing days specifically, that's going to be harder to find. And in terms of other comparisons, you really can't find anything else here. I guess it did sell again before for 4,200, dropped to 2,600 or 3,700 actually. So it had a little bit of a dip, and I would imagine it probably isn't going to dip a whole lot after that sale. On to number 6, we get a 2015 Panini Select Cristiano Ronaldo, a red jersey, gold prism out of 10, PSA 10. I guess the label said gold prism, but obviously it's select. And in terms of this sale in particular, strikes me as pretty strong. Now, of course, you do have the first select set narrative around it, which, I understand, but personally, I don't really think has ever been a huge factor in soccer cards. Granted, I have seen it matter a decent bit in other sports. So, is soccer just a little slow to catch up in that regard? I'm not quite sure. Pop 1 of 3 as well on this, so clearly not that easy. Now, there is a variation to this card. There is another photo with, I believe, a white jersey that's also gold. And so this one is his Portuguese kit. I believe the white jersey is his Real Madrid kit. I say all that, not recognizing that we can just go and look at sales and clearly find out that actually the white kit is his Portuguese kit as well. So I got that one wrong. I was just taking a stab in the dark there. I could sort of remember the photo, but didn't remember it was Portuguese kit. As you can see, in terms of past sales, 2023 a 9.5 sold on alt for $3,300. That's a Gem Plus as well, all 9.5 grades and a 10 on centering. So I'd imagine that's a decent bit more expensive now, if I had to guess. PSA 9 for $2,300 as well. And just crazy, man. PSA 10 here on Golden in 2022 August is 8.4, and now we're looking at a cool 26.4. So very interesting stuff. If you go back to the early days, I'm sure, as you can sort of tell, some of these comps matter, some of them don't, but back in the day, I'm sure it was a couple $100, few $100. So it's certainly come a long way. And this is the first of what I guess, it's not really the first, but there's just many examples of modern soccer absolutely going off the rails lately. And this would be just another, feather in the cap of that. It is absolutely going nuclear, especially on Ronaldo, Messi, the main guys, as we can tell. On to number 5. Here we have another Lamine Yamal 2023-2024 Topps UCL Japan Edition. This is the red Mojo out of 5 refractor with the sticker auto as well. This in a PSA 10 with a 10 auto goes for $29.4 thousand. Taking a look at sales, again, this is going to be an all-time high price for this sort of card. As you can see, we have 6 other examples, but only one that really fits the mold of what we're looking for. This was an authentic card with the 10 auto that went for $16,000 in June. Comparatively, that doesn't seem like a very strong price on this 10-10. Not even getting double that over an authentic 10. So maybe that's, maybe this was a higher sale comparatively, but for the grade, for the exact grade, this is clearly an all-time high price here on this $29,000 sale that we had last night. In the past, a out of 5 PSA 10 non-auto could have been had in March for $4,500, which certainly was prior to his boom, so I would imagine that is many multiples now, and that sticker auto sale would certainly sort of reinforce that theory. On to number 4, we have a 2022-2023 Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo, the OG Ronaldo, I guess is probably a better way to state that. R9, of course. We have his autographed patch, gold, 1 of 1 from Topps Dynasty, which has been all the rage certainly since it came out, and I'd imagine that people will be fawning over that product for years to come. In terms of this 2022 Topps Dynasty 1 of 1, we are looking at a sticker price of $81,000. A pretty big step up from the last card that we saw, and there's going to be some more steps taken as we continue on, but my word. They also added a Real Madrid crest patch in the description. Thank you, Fanatics, for doing that. Just immediately, to me, I mean, wow. Again, just the idea that modern soccer is absolutely off the rails, just going wild. I mean, look at this. This is just crazy. At least in my opinion, I can understand why it's a coveted card. Clearly a great player, clearly a great team, clearly a great set. PSA 10. It's got tons of good stuff, but I mean, as we all well know, Ronaldo's been retired for a good while now, and this type of card can be reproduced quite a bit. Now, there's probably not going to be tons of them, you wouldn't imagine. I mean, it's going to be hard to print off tons of Topps Dynasty 1 of 1s patch autos with all the good stuff, but I mean, for something that was just made a couple of years ago, it's pretty crazy, right? It's pretty crazy. If you would have told me in 2020 that like here soon in 2022, 2023, Topps is going to be printing cards that are going to be worth $80,000 of retired players, I would have wondered what happened. Did the dollar lose all of its value? How did we get here? And maybe it did, but it's just absolutely nuts to me. As far as comparables, I just looked up 2022 Topps Dynasty, and this was the only higher sale we've ever seen. Was this Lionel Messi 1 of 1 that went for $103,000. Granted, not graded a PSA 10, but on these types of cards, I mean, grading matters certainly, but like, I mean, my word, $20K higher and you could have got this theoretically. Now, I'm sure this Messi card would probably go for like hundreds of thousands at this point, so it doesn't matter. There was another 1 of 1, which also is, one of the tricky things with these sorts of sets. Like they label themselves 1 of 1s, and they are 1 of 1s, but when there's other 1 of 1s in the set, I mean, it muddies the waters a bit. And as you can see here, this is a different 1 of 1 patch of R9 that went for $28,000 last year in November. Granted, that's raw. So, I mean, typically the grading premium is 3 times raw. Probably for a PSA 10. But does that work the same way on Topps Dynasty? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, in this situation, it looks like it did, but there's many other factors, and also this happened a year apart. So, but also, like, you have this Messi. I mean, that's a PSG patch, 1 of 1 as well, for $24,000. And granted, that was December of last year, but still, like, my word, you could get some amazing Messi patches. This Mourinho, which really cool card. Clearly, different level of manager, not really a player, so I get it. But it's just crazy to me that this is as high as it is. But I will be the first to admit that modern soccer has blown me away time and time again. And so I just might not be the person that needs to understand this stuff. On to number 3, we have the 2018 Topps Chrome Cristiano Ronaldo Auto Superfractor from Topps Chrome UCL. This is a 1 of 1 with a sticker auto. Kind of a streaky looking sticker auto, if I may add. In terms of the pricing here, we're looking at $87,000 on this one. And how does that compare? How does that fare? Initially, my mind went towards a card in particular. We'll talk about it in a second. I just searched up Topps Chrome Superfractor Ronaldo and sorted by highest price. And as you can see, the highest sale ever for one of these was the Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Erling Haaland. It sold for $130,000 on Golden in 2023. For those that remember the story of this autograph in particular, this then sold like a year later for $30,000 to $40,000, I do believe. So quite the haircut there. And if you take that price into account, that would mean that this is now the highest selling one ever. And very interesting, because if you look, not even long ago, literally in May of this year, it sold for $30,000, which is just nuts. And to be fair, the 30 sort of makes sense, at least at the time, when you consider the auto. It goes off sticker, it's a little streaky, it's a PSA 9. There's a lot of things with the 101 that you might have wanted to be a bit better. But also, let's just go ahead and look at Messi in regard to this, because Messi had the 2018 sale recently as well. This sold in May also, and this sold for $100,000 in May. From the same year, a nicer sticker auto, I would say, and also you have a PSA 10 card. So the Ronaldo Juve kit, PSA 9, worse auto, basically just sold nearly for what this did in May. And that would definitely lead me to believe that this one's probably worth a lot more now than it was in May. And it's just crazy to think about. And definitely goes to show how much of a step up is being taken in terms of high-end Ronaldo at the moment. And we'll see more of that to come. As of number 2, though, we will see a Lionel Messi card here. And certainly a good price on this one. As we were talking about many steps that were going to be taken upward, we just went from a $90,000 sale to $276 on this 2015-2016 Panini Flawless Lionel Messi Gold Proof Autograph Emerald 1 of 1. So this is a Flawless Finishes design. It's a gold proof, which there's a lot of sort of gold proofs in the set of Messi, I believe also Ronaldo, and like Harry Kane has a ton as well. So they're sort of added 1 of 1s that are in the set. Not necessarily the go-tos, but clearly still highly coveted. As you can tell, PSA 7 here, not really hampering this card all that much, as this goes for, a little over $250,000. In terms of pricing, this is an all-time high for Messi Flawless 2015 in general, and by quite a margin. Granted, there's not really a whole lot that is very close to this. Make of it what you will in terms of the gold proof designation here. Other highest sales were this Soul of the Game for $72,000 and a BGS 9. We also have the base 1 of 1 Flawless Messi that went for $59,000 in June of this year. And you also have the same exact gold proof that sold for $276 that went for $52,000 in July of 2022. So just absolutely nuts to see again another major run. And granted, I mean, Messi's running just in general, but this rare card in particular does quite the number there. A little over 5 times what it was just 3 years ago. So, nothing wrong with that if you can 5 extra money in 3 years. And then you got other Soul of the Game and other Flawless finishes beneath that. A lot of Messi Flawless in the, $10,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 range, and certainly roaring ever higher after these sales here. And then finally, the top selling item of the auction block for last night on the Fanatics premiere was the 2002-2003 Panini Sports Cristiano Ronaldo Mega Cracks. His PSA 10 rookie card that is, very comparable to the 71 bis in the sense that they are both basically the same branding. One is from Spain, one is from Portugal. They both look eerily similar, and of course from the same time frame as well. Just a lot of weird coincidences that aligned there. And as you can tell here, we got a number of 288,000 on this PSA 10 Mega Cracks card, which is absolutely crazy if you had followed what this has done lately, even within the last year or two. If we go and look at that, this will be the graph, and maybe I could bring that a little bigger. There you go. My word, my word. What a story here. Definitely shows you the excitement that once was for this card, the sort of dreary days that were in 2023, 2024, And I mean, even into 2025, as you can see here, June 2025, this sold for $80,000. Literally just a few months ago. And now we're looking at nearly 300. Like, what is going on, you know? And, from my perspective, I can tell that there's tons of people that are not soccer people that are getting into this. And there's even, to be fair, soccer people that are getting into it even more so. So it's coming from multiple angles. But it's just so much, so quick. And, I mean, clearly a lot of this is spurred on by the 71 bits. When the Messi sells for over $1 million, people look at the Ronaldo at 80,000 and they say, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And I think that's fair. Messi and Ronaldo, no matter how you debate who's the real GOAT, I mean, in terms of influence on the soccer world, I would say they're both even. I would almost argue that Ronaldo might be a little more. In terms of greatness, that's always so subjective. But in terms of influence, they're both massive players. And I think one thing that's important to note here also, you might say, well, why isn't this $1 million card? It is a pop 38, and the Messi's a pop 19, I believe. So this is double the pop. So if you compare market caps, this is closer to $600K per 2 cards, and the Messi's, $1 million per 1 card. So the Messi still holds a good bit of margin over the Ronaldo, but I do think that this card, even if Ronaldo is equal to Messi in everyone's eyes, I still think it would be a bit cheaper. And, 80,000 was probably too cheap, to be honest, and even 60. Back during 2023, 2024, it felt like these things were too cheap, and, I didn't have a spare 60K to throw around, but honestly, back then it didn't sound crazy because this is basically one of the Ronaldo rookies. Ronaldo only has 2 rookies. This is the card in a PSA 10, which is only a pop 38, and you could have got it for mid 5 figures. And now we're getting close to mid 6 figures. It's just absolutely crazy how much this has grown. And if you take it from 60K up to 300, I mean, my word, what a run this has been on. And it'll be interesting to see what this does do, because there are 38 of them, so this might actually pull a couple out to see if they sell for a similar number, and that'd be interesting. But what a absolutely just wild sale that was, and what a wild night it was on the Fanatics Premiere in general. But yeah, that's going to be it for this auction review. Hopefully you enjoyed. As always, again, if you did, make sure to leave a like. Would love to hear your thoughts down below. What do you think about this just roaring market for Messi, Ronaldo, and other modern folks of the like? Very modern focused, but, that sort of happens a lot of the time when a sort of boom begins. A lot of people focus on what they know, and what a lot of people know is modern, and that makes tons of sense to me. I'd be interested what you guys think and where you guys think this is going to go, because it's been a wild ride. There was a couple years of pretty dreary times, and now all of a sudden everyone's just absolutely fever pitch for everything soccer, and it's just crazy to see how much this has changed. But yeah, would love to hear your thoughts. If you want to see more videos like this as soon as we go live, make sure to subscribe. But with that said, hopefully you have a wonderful day, and have a good weekend, and peace.